Hello, Pankhurst, and welcome to your second science lesson this week. So today is Wednesday, the 13th of January, 2021. So this morning we had a live session for science in which you told me about your science work and how you found your first science lesson. So our first science lesson this week was all about pushes and pulls. So you had a few examples of pushes and pulls. There should have been a video, but I understand that many of you weren't able to watch it, which is okay because what was in the video is what was on the presentation. Okay. Um, you all said that you found it easy. Some of you did freeze frames at home to practice pushes and pulls. So, for example, Avani said that she had a bow and arrow and she was practicing her foot pull motion. Okay, and I was really impressed with your feedback. So, your learning objective today is, can I investigate the effects of friction on different surfaces? So, we're going to be learning about friction today and how it affects forces on different surfaces. So, today, if we were in school, we would have been carrying out an exciting investigation to observe how things move on different surfaces. However, instead, we will do the investigation at home using things we find around our house. Some of you may have them, some of you won't, but don't worry, I've got you covered. There's still a way for you to carry out this investigation. Okay, but before I start teaching you about friction and its effects on surfaces, let's recap on our last lesson. Okay, so forces make things move. Whenever an object starts to move or moves faster, it is a force making this happen. So when something moves, whether it's fast or slow or wherever it is, it's a force that's doing it. It's not anything else, it's a force, okay, which is a push or a pull. Forces can also make things stop moving or slow down. So, you know, when we're doing a force, we're moving it to move faster or, you know, just to move it. Forces also make things to stop and also slow down. Now, what is a force? Put your thinking caps on, try and remember what a force is. Fantastic. So, forces are pushes and pulls. A push is when you move something away from you, and a pull is when you move it close to you. Okay. These pushes or pulls will always change the motion of an object. They will either make it to move, start to move, or speed up, or slow down, or make it stop. So a force, a push or a pull, will either make something move and go faster, or it will make something stop and slow down. Okay? Now, I want you to talk to your adult or talk to your teddy about examples of forces changing the motion of different objects. You've got a couple of pictures here that can help you. Okay, pause the screen and when you are ready, come back. Okay, fantastic. So now if you look at this picture here of the girl and the boy on a swing, okay, um, forces change the motion of the swing. So what happens is when you push the swing, it starts moving faster, okay, and it moves. But when the swing comes near you and you don't want it to move anymore, the force of a pull will make it stop and slow down. Okay, fantastic. Now, I want you to talk to your teddy and discuss what is friction. So put your thinking caps on and pause the video and discuss what is a friction. Fantastic. So, a friction is a force that holds back. Let me just move this little screen. So, a friction is a force that holds back the movement of an object. Friction acts in the opposite direction to the movement of the object. Okay, so friction always is the opposite. So, do you remember when we were learning about earthquakes in geography and we were talking about the plates, yeah, under Earth crust? When the plates are causing friction, it makes something happen. So what happens is when you have an object that when you have an object and it's against something else, it causes friction, but it goes the other direction. Okay, now let's look at a cyclist as an example. So we're going to see how friction works with a cyclist. So By pushing the pedals harder or faster, he can change the motion of the bicycle. It will speed up. So, you know, if you've got a bike, just think about when you're riding a bike. Every time you push on your pedal and you push harder, it goes faster and faster and faster. Yeah. But yeah, and it speeds up. But when you pull the brakes on your bike, the brake pads push on the wheels, so you've got that motion, then you've got a pull and a push. It pushes on the wheel and it makes the bike stop. So this is what it says here. When the cyclist pulls on the brakes, the brake pads will push on the wheels, changing the bicycle's motion. It will slow down and eventually stop. Okay, so with the bike, you've got two motions going on because of friction. You've got when you're pushing the pedal, it speeds up and goes faster. When you pull your brake, it slows down the bike. Okay. Now, cyclists, yeah, as you know, travel on different things. They can travel on anything. When we're in the park, we see cyclists traveling on grass. You know, when we're on the beach, we see cyclists traveling on gravel. Or if you've got gravel in your garden, I'm sure some of you may be doing you may be riding your bikes on gravel. We see cyclists riding their bikes on sand, and we see cyclists riding their bikes on road. Okay. So how do the different surfaces affect the motion of the bicycle? So now, if a cyclist rides their bike on each of these surfaces, because of the friction, a different motion will happen. I want you to think about how do you think what do you think the motion would be when a cyclist is riding on these surfaces? Will it slow down or speed up? Slow down or speed up? Yeah. So look at all these and discuss with your teddy whether the bike will slow down and speed up. You can also use your own experiences of when you have ridden a bike. All right, fantastic. So on grass, bikes tend to slow down a bit. On gravel, bikes tend to slow down a bit. On sand, um, bikes tend to slow down a bit. And on road, they actually ride a bit faster because roads are usually a lot more smoother, not bumpy. Yeah. Now, these surfaces will create a force on the bicycle. Okay. These surfaces will create a force on the bicycle. This force is called friction. So friction is a force as well, yeah? Push and pull is a force and friction is a force, okay? So depending on what surface the bike is riding on, yeah, it will create friction, and then friction determines whether the bike will speed up or slow down. So the driving force pushes the bicycle, making it move, okay? Which is a motion going one direction. Then friction pushes on the bicycle, slowing it down. Yeah? Different surfaces create different amounts of friction. The amount of friction created by an object moving over a surface depends on the roughness of the surface and the object and the force between them. So if I go back to this slide, now we know so roughness of it. So depending on how rough any of these surfaces are will depend on how the bike rides on it. Yeah, fantastic. So now your task today is to investigate the effects of friction on different surfaces. Okay. But before we investigate, I need you to grab a piece of paper and a pencil, then copy my table below to record your investigation on. Then carry on with the video. What I'm going to do now is um, I'm going to show you how to draw the table. Okay. Now, if you just bear with me a second, I am going to show my visualizer. So for me to draw the table, I'm going to get a ruler and a pencil. I do not have a ruler on me, so I'm going to use my card. Okay, So what I want is for you to draw a line down using 6 of your handwriting lines like that. Okay, and then you are going to make three columns. So if you draw a 15-centimeter line, okay, and then you split it into 3 sections. 1, 2, 3. So your table should look like that. Okay, then in the first column, I want you to write down object. In the second, I want you to write down surface. In the third, I want you to write down what happened. Once you have done that, year 3, please come back to my video. Okay. Now, once you have drawn your table, I'm going to explain to you what you're going to do. You are going to get any 3 objects from your house. It could be a toy vehicle, it could be a shoe, it could be a bottle, it can be, I don't know, a pack of wipes, it could be a cup, yeah? So you need to get 3 objects. Then find 5 surfaces in your house to investigate the effects of friction on using your objects. So some surface ideas you have are carpet, sofa, wooden floor, kitchen counter, or a bed, and many more. So all you will need to do is, for example, if you've got a toy vehicle, you're going to use it on one of these surfaces and you're going to write down what happens. Okay, so if you look over here, I tested a shoe, I tested it on a carpet, and then I wrote down what happened. And the shoe slowed down when it went on the carpet, and that is because the carpet was rough and the friction caused on it was strong. Okay, now after you've done that, your challenge is if you have a bike or scooter, with your adult's permission, go outside and ride them on 2 or 3 different surfaces. Once you've done that, write a sentence comparing the difference of effects on these surfaces. Remember to take a picture and upload it to Tapestry. So if you can carry on with this investigation, go back and pause it on the pause it on the part of the video that tells you what activity is, and do not forget to upload your work on Tapestry. Goodbye.